Hello, Shaker Heights varsity baseball fans, and welcome in for the last game of the San Diego, California tournament where your Red Raiders will be taking on Olympian High School. The defense getting set up right behind me currently. Now, both of these teams are placed up against each other because they went 0-2 in their respective groups of the tournament. Shaker won their first game. They lost the next two. Olympian, the other side, flip those around. They lost their first two, won their last game 13-0. But Shaker, for them, they won their first game against Francis Parker 7-5, and then after that, they haven't scored a single run. In their second game, they lost to Morse 8-0. Yesterday, they had Tyler Zach on the mound. He pitched a good game, but the defense behind him gave up a lot more runs. Zach only had 2 earned runs. However, 6 did come across. They lost the game 6-0 against the pitcher. The pitcher was hitting low 90s in his miles per hour, but he consistently hit mid 80s. Shaker's batters just could not keep up with it, and they've been out hit through all of their games, including that win against Francis Parker. So those bats need to wake up, especially after being shut out in their last 2 games. Now, to limit the damage on defense, Tegan warming up behind me, catching the balls and strikes for him, is going to be Braden White. Quentin Garnett got the rest day. But last year, Will Tegan on the mound, he had a 9 ERA through the 4.2 innings pitched. He gave up 10 walks, only 5 strikeouts. So mainly, you can tell the issue with him was the walks due to the batting against average was 158. So, entering into today, Tegan also going to lead off the batting order, but to give you the defense in the outfield from left to right, it's going to be number 21, Nate Landever. In center, it's going to be Nemo Crosby. He's not in the batting order. And in right, Andrew Fogarty. From first to third, we're going to be seeing Casey Robinson getting the start at first. At second, it's going to be O'Shea Howard. And at shortstop, Brett Moore. Handling the duties at third, Will. So, the first pitch coming your way from Will Tegan now, and it'll be cut on and missed. Strike number 1. That's a good start to Will Tegan's debut on the mound in his senior season. Thank you very much for tuning in. My name is Vaughn Ullum here with the call. The next offering to number 1, the batter, will be low, ball number 1. Be mindful of the walks here today. That's what he struggled with last season. Currently, we have an even count to start off his debut this year. The next offering. Ooh, a late strike call, but with the point of the finger, we'll get that strike call. 1 ball, 2 strikes on number 1, the batter. The next pitch. Ooh, look down the middle. Perhaps Braden White trying to frame it. However, the umpire calls this one a bit too inside. Ball 2, 2-2 off the first 4 pitches from the senior Will Tegan. The right-handed pitcher with the left leg kick. The pitch, cut on and missed. He's got the leadoff strikeout. And as the infield plays catch, Sam Luther drops this one back off to the mound. Good start for the senior Will Tegan, typically out in center field, but today getting the start on the bump. 5 pitches, 1 strikeout, a good start for the senior. And now the next pitch will go for a strike once more. Called strike 1 on Casanova, number 19 on the back of his jersey. Another team out in San Diego with those pinstripe uniforms, or I suppose not in San Diego, but in the San Diego tournament. That pitch was upstairs, ball 1, we're even. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Here in the top of the first, a lot of ones up on the scoreboard. Next pitch, cut on and missed once more. Tegan getting a lot of swing and misses early. That's what you like to see. Now the next offering, he's got a slow wind up. The next pitch on the outside half of the plate. Ball number 2. We are once again back to even. We'll see if that's something that's going to remain consistent throughout the day. If he is in a pitcher's count, will he just immediately try to get the guy to chase at the plate? Next offering, this one's cut on. It's up and foul over to the right side, out of play. We'll do it again at 2-2. 0-0 your score. We're just getting set on the top of the first inning. The batter now, Casanova, he is battling here in his first AB. The 11th pitch from Will Tagan will be on its way now. And it's on the outside part of the plate once more. However, it'll miss the strike zone. There's ball 3. So now we're going to count this one down. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 away in the top of the first. 0-0 is your score. And now this time it's upstairs once again. He's struck out the leadoff man. He's walked the next guy. And so Casanova going to take his spot over at first. And that'll bring up the number 3 guy in the batting order. Number 6, the number on the back of his jersey, Bleich, is the batter hitting left side. So this is a hitter's matchup as we got the righty on the mound and the lefty in the box. Casanova taking a hefty lead from first. And he's going to steal immediately. The throw from Braden White. It won't be on target. He'll make the tag. However, Brett Moore had to go from his right side to his left to make the tag, and unfortunately he did successfully steal second. Casanova now in scoring position with 1 away in the top of the first. Now a bit of an equipment thing happening over at second, or I suppose the base also popped out of position, so they're going to tend to that in the infield. Braden White going to take the opportunity to catch up with his senior man on the mound. And with a fist bump, Braden White going to run back to his position behind the dish. So Will Tagan just needs to slow things down early. Bleich, the batter, 1 ball, no strikes after the base was stolen by Casanova. There's 1 out. The man in scoring position, 0-0 your score. This first pitch right to Brett Moore at short. He'll handle it. The throw is in time to Casey Robinson at first. 2 away now in the top of the first inning. Thank you very much for tuning in. My name is Vaughn Ullum here with the call of the game out here in Chula Vista, California. We are not too far from the Mexican border out here. Just as yesterday, we're really near where we played yesterday at Otay Ranch. The kick, the pitch, the first pitch is upstairs, and an easy steal that time it seems from Casanova. He's over at third now, 2 away. Ball 1 to Rodriguez. Now the next pitch, that'll be off the plate. 2 balls, no strikes with 2 outs. Not the most clean of starts from Will Tagan. However, he's looking to leave the donut up on the scoreboard for the top of the first. 0-0 is currently your score. Braden White behind home plate, catching the balls and strikes. Unfortunately, couldn't limit the stealing from Casanova. Small guy. However, they're a big swing and miss. He's a small guy, the runner. However, he's got speed on him. Kind of that Jose Altuve type down for the Houston Astros. The next throw to home. This one's fouled back into the backstop. Braden White going to get there quickly. However, it doesn't matter. The man over at third can advance off of the foul ball. So that will bring us strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bit of a tense situation for the batter Rodriguez in his first plate appearance of the day. Next offering, this one's popped up and out of play. Behind home plate was that foul ball. A fan will recover. He'll get the baseball. Flip it over to the Red Raider dugout. But in the meantime, the kick, the pitch. That time it's upstairs. And we're going to get ball number 4. And he'll take his spot over at first. Runners at the corners now with 2 outs in the top of the first. Willigan not in a great position, but it's definitely manageable in a 2-out, 2 men on situation. Top of the first, 0-0. We're just getting started. Will Tagan right after he finishes up on the mound. He's got to lead off the first inning as well. Haven't seen him in the leadoff position so far this season. We'll see how he does. The first pitch upstairs, ball one. Next pitch, that time once more upstairs. Throwing a lot on the upstairs part of the plate. Unfortunately, not able to lower it enough into the strike zone. Runners at the corners. 2 balls, no strikes. There's 2 outs. You do have that second base open if you want to load the bases, but I don't think anyone wants to load the bases. There's strike 1. 2 balls, 1 strike. Will Tagan checks the runner at first. Now the throw. This one's fouled back into the cage where the senior banners reside. And that'll even us up. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Good RBI opportunity for the batter, Lizarraga. However, Will Tagan already pitching 25 here in the top of the first. The 26th will be on its way now. There's ball, the next ball there. It'll be ball 3, so now we're at a full count. And we get the advance from first to second from Rodriguez. Braden White tried to catch him, but Will Tagan cut him off because Casanova was thinking about going home. The next offering from Tagan. This one cut on in line in the left center. That'll get down for a base hit. That'll bring home 2. The throw in to Sam Luther recovering in the infield, and there's a 2 RBI single from the batter Lizarraga. And there you go. Rough start from Tagan, almost able to get out of it twice. He had 2 strikes on the batter with 2 outs. Unfortunately, that time, they will get the RBI knock in the left center. Good RBI by the man in the 5th spot, and that'll bring now up the 6th man in the batting order, Leyva. Wearing number 2 on the back of his jersey. He's a senior, covering for second base this time around. Here is another steal attempt. Not sure anyone knew or expected him to steal second, as no one was covering second. Braden White hesitated on the throw, and thank goodness he did. No one was covering second, and if he actually threw the baseball, it would have ended up reaching Nemo Crosby out in center. 29th pitch from Will Tagan already on its way. This one's fouled up into the cage behind home plate. 2-0 now your score after the RBI single. Runner at second, another RBI opportunity for the Eagles. This one's popped up in foul territory. Sam Luther, can he play it? Yes, he can, leading on the fence to his right. He'll make the foul territory grab, and that will conclude the top of the first. Will Tagan pitched 29, and now he's got to go up and lead off the bottom of the first at the plate. We'll see how he does. He hasn't been in that leadoff spot yet. Behind him also due up are Andrew Fogarty and Will Berglund. Berglund's had a time at the plate throughout this tournament as well. We'll see how those 3 fare when we come back. Thank you very much for tuning in. My name is Vaughn Ullum here from Southern California. Will Tagan will lead us off as we begin the bottom of the first. 2-0 your score. Will Tagan unfortunately did let two come in to score off of an RBI single. One man was left on at second after the foul territory grab was made by Sam Luther. The first pitch down low, ball one. Arntz, the pitcher. Now the next offering, this one inside, ball two. Next pitch from Arntz will catch the strike zone on the bottom half. And there's strike one. 2 balls, 1 strike, nobody out in the bottom of the first. We're just getting started with Will Tagan leading off. Behind him, due up, Andrew Fogarty. Here's Will Tagan sending this one to shortstop. It's handled. Will Tagan beat it out. Looks as though he will as he collapses down in the dirt after beating that one out at first. He'll hop to his feet and give his first base coach a good old high five. Got to respect him for that effort. And that'll bring up the left-handed hitter, Andrew Fogarty. Got the start against Morse the other day for the second game of the tournament, but he's mainly been handling the duties in right field. Today, no different. Here he's trying to bunt it, and on the transfer, the catcher not able to make the throw to second. Will take steal from first to second. He soars to make the steal. So now 1 ball on Fogarty. Will Tagan now in scoring position. Fogarty trying to bunt this one. Instead, it's going to be tipped up into the fencing up there. And the baseball actually going to get stuck up in that fencing. Don't worry, Arntz has a new baseball. Tagan in scoring position. Fogarty with the opportunity to bring home a run and cut the deficit in half. Olympian up 2-0. Tagan on second, trying to bunt once more. Tagan needs to dive back in to second, or he can just stand up and do it. He's got some good speed on him. That's why he's already committed to Washington down in St. Louis. 2 balls, 1 strike to Andrew Fogarty. An RBI opportunity for him here. The Eagles pitcher checks the runner at second. Will Tagan taking a hefty lead. That pitch outside, ball 3 to the big man Andrew Fogarty. However, not as big as the next man coming up. That's Will Berglund. He may be shorter, but he is an O-lineman for a reason on the football team. 3 balls, 1 strike to Andrew Fogarty. The next pitch cut on, and this one's popped up in foul over to the left side. That'll bring us to a full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The payoff pitch is on its way from Arntz. This is going to be his 10th pitch of the inning. Will Tagan taking the lead from second. The pitcher not exactly comfortable with him. He'll check him. This pitch cut on and sent back into the backstop. Will Berglund trying to fetch it from his on-deck circle. However, catcher handles it, sends it back to Arntz on the mound. Fogarty taking a couple practice swings before he steps back into the left-handed batter's box. And now we are set. Will Tagan once again still at second in scoring position. The next pitch to Fogarty, right down the middle. Fogarty looks at it, doesn't take a hack, and he will head to the dugout in replacement. Will be the designated hitter in today's game, Will Berglund. He had a great game in the first game of the tournament. That was against Francis Parker. He had a solo shot to left. He had a ground rule double in that same spot in left field. Then he walked as well. He went 3 for 4 in his plate appearances, 2 for 3 in his at-bats, technically. First pitch down low, ball one. There's one away after Fogarty's strikeout. Will Berglund, the right-handed batter. Bat raised above his head. And the next offering, off the plate, ball two. And that was pretty close. But the man in blue called that one off. Tegan still at second with one away. And this one fouled off over to the left side. Berglund once again trying to get another RBI. Yesterday, he entered in as a pinch hitter in the 7th inning. It was his only at-bat, and he got a triple. For a big man, he has a lot of power to make up for his lack of speed. Number 7, Arntz, the pitcher, with the next offering. This one cut on, and this one's lined in the center. That'll get down for a base hit. Will Tegan rounding third. He'll be safe at the plate. And Will Berglund debating whether to head to second, but he'll be content with the RBI single. That'll cut the deficit in half. 2-1 now your score. And that'll bring up the catcher, Braden White. He's in the 4 spot here today. Typically, he's been batting in the 5th spot. And now we'll get our first mound visit for the Eagles. Will Berglund over at first. The man in the on-deck circle will be Sam Luther, assuming he gets that chance to head up to the plate. There's only one away. One man has scored as Will Berglund got the single in the left center. And Tegan flew around third and made his way home. Braden White will be the next guy. He's got some power behind the bat. He's slow, or he's got a slow start to his offensive production in this tournament. However, hopefully when we get back home, everyone's going to be warmed up as we begin the rivalry play. As Shaker is just entered into a new league. They left the Lake Erie League and are now entering into the Greater Cleveland Conference. We'll be facing teams like Medina and Menor, Brunswick as well. But Cleveland Heights also came with us into the GCC, so that rivalry is still alive and well. Berglund taking the lead from first. The first offering to Braden White, cut on and missed. He got him chasing down low. Braden White with a hot rod orange bat in his hands. Blue on the bottom of it. Lovely little design. Now the pitcher in pinstripes sends this one right down the middle. Braden White takes it for strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes to him. Yesterday we saw a lot of 3 strikeouts. Hopefully we don't see the same thing here with Braden White. Berglund taking the lead. The next offering, cut on, missed. Berglund back in safely over at first as the catcher sends the baseball Diaz's way. So that'll bring up Sam Luther, the third baseman in today's affair. Shaker down by 1 here in the bottom of the first. 2-1 is your score. Tegan, the man to fly home on the Will Berglund single. This first pitch down the middle, and you knew that was a strike, and I believe Sam Luther knew it too. The men in the on-deck circle would be Brett Moore. We'll see if he gets a shot at it here in the bottom of the first. With now 2 outs, 1 strike on Sam Luther. That one is very much down low in the dirt, handled by the catcher, Leva. That was the 20th pitch from Arntz. The 21st will be on its way. Berglund taking the lead from first. He's got the RBI here in the bottom of the first inning. Next pitch, this one cut on to Sam Luther, sends it to the second baseman. He handles it. The throw on to first is on target and in time. So, in the first inning, Olympian gets 2, Shaker gets 1. Of course, your score 2-1. So Will Tegan will return to the mound now after leading us off and actually getting that run for the Red Raiders. We'll see how he does as he returns back to the mound. He already pitched 30, only 16 strikes. We'll see how he performs, as now he should be warmed up. Thank you very much for tuning in. My name is Vaughn Ullum. We'll tell you all about it when we come back in the top of the second. The first batter is up in the right-handed batter's box. Will Tagan returns to the mound in the top of the second. In that first inning, however, he did let two come across. Shaker was able to respond, but only with one. First pitch is upstairs, ball one. That was Tagan's 31st already. We're looking for a larger pitch count from Will Tagan as compared to Tyler Zach yesterday. Zach pitched 6 innings. In that first inning, that pitch upstairs, in that first inning from Tyler Zach, he pitched 11 in that first inning. Next pitch was also ruled a ball. Next one, that should catch the strike zone, and indeed it will. With the flick of the wrist, we get the strike call. The batter here, Sinchon. The right-handed batter in a pitcher's matchup, the righty on righty. And this one's sent to shortstop, handled by Brett Moore. The throw on to Casey Robinson at first. He'll make the snag. Out number one, a quicker out for Will Tagan. That's what you like to see, a 4-pitch out for the senior. And this ball. Once again, a batter in the right-handed batter's box. The kick, the pitch from Tagan, that'll be right down the middle. Strike one. Rodriguez, the batter. 2 Rodriguez's in the lineup. More than likely siblings. That pitch off the plate. Another ball from Will Tagan. The sun trying to peek out of the clouds. It did for a moment there as we were switching sides. Taking the next pitch outside once more. A lot of cloud here in Chula Vista, California. We didn't see that much at all yesterday, and that's why for the bonding experience yesterday for the team, they went to the beach. That pitch on the upstairs, but ooh, a late strike call from him there. Will Tagan will take it with much gratitude. 3 balls, 2 strikes, full count. This one's sent up and into the cages. This time it won't be stuck up. Thank goodness. They did get that ball out from the fencing when we switched sides. We'll do it again. The payoff pitch with 1 away and the top of the second, nobody on. 2-1 your score, Olympian leads. The pitch. That'll catch the strike zone. Big strikeout from the senior, number 8. That'll be Will Tagan's 2nd K on the day. And now Will Tagan might have entered into a groove. And you know when he does that, he can be dangerous. The next batter up will be Diaz. He's the first baseman in today's game. He's a left-handed batter. The first pitch to him will be down in the dirt, ball 1. Good work by Braden White to keep it in front of him. Didn't exactly matter considering there's no one on base, but Braden White, you know, he can perform well on the defensive side when he's behind the dish. He went around, strike number 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. There's 2 outs in the top of the second in a 1-run game. Next pitch. This one's cut on, sent over to the left side and foul. Out of play. This one will soar. That's strike 2. 1 strike away from having a 3 up, 3 down. Top of the second. The left leg kick in the pitch. This one just a bit down low. That'll even us up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Thank you very much for tuning in. The sun is starting to shine a little bit through the clouds out here in Southern California. Over 2,400 miles from home base at Shaker Heights High School up in Northeast Ohio. Shaker looking to get their 2nd win of the tournament and split this one 2-2. They won their first game. They lost the next 2. That one fouled up. We'll do it again at 2 balls and 2 strikes. But yeah, different story for this team. They lost their first 2 and won the last. So they're looking to go back to back. Will Tagan, again on a 2-strike count, foul it off once more. Diaz having a good at-bat against Will Tagan. He is protecting, and he is protecting well. Tagan with 47 pitches already in the second. The 48th is on its way now. And this one down in the dirt. White keeps it in front of him. And Will Tagan only 5 outs, and he's nearing the 50-pitch mark. So we'll see how quickly Shaker's going to need to go to that bullpen. Hopefully not too soon, as Will Tagan is entering a bit of a groove. No base runners so far in the second. It's just taking him a bit more time. And now that I say that, he walks Diaz, and he had a long at-bat, and he'll earn his spot over at first. Good at-bat from the first baseman of the team in pinstripes here today. That means number 1 will head to the batter's box. And that's back to the top of the order. Ibarra, the batter. The 50th pitch from Will Tagan will be the first one Ibarra sees. And that one's off the plate. It'll get away from Braden White, but no advancement is made from Diaz. Now the sun is for sure shining through the clouds, and you love to see it. I mean, in Southern California, what can you expect? You want that heat. You want the sun shining down. That'll add some heat to the field as well. Tagan's next offering upstairs. Cut on and missed. The throw from Braden White to first. He's back in on a dive. Diaz is safe. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs in the top of the second. We got that man on first in the form of Diaz, the batter, the lefty, Ibarra, the leadoff man, as we're back to the top of the order. Next pitch from Tagan. This one cut on, popped up, and foul over to the left side. Had some distance on it as well. You could see the fielder, Nate Landever, looking over to his right side, seeing if he had a play to make, but he did not. 1-2 the count, 2 outs. Tagan looking to leave the score where it is with the next pitch. This time it's upstairs. Braden White sends this one it's into center field. Nemo Crosby makes the play on it. Luckily, didn't get too out of hand, as Diaz only goes from first to second. If that had gotten out of hand, maybe he could have gone from corner to corner. Luckily, Braden White's arm strength doesn't prove too costly. Ibarra with 2 strikes on him still. The next pitch, this one's low. Ball number 3. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs with a man in scoring position. This is a tense pitch coming up for Ibarra. And a tense pitch to throw for Will Tagan. He checks the runner at second. Now he'll make the throw. That time it's upstairs, ball 4. He got 2 quick outs, and after that, he's walked the next 2. And now we're going to get a mound visit from head coach Stephen English. He'll bring in the infield and Braden White behind the dish as well to join him. Casanova is the next guy. He walked his first time up and eventually went around to score. Will Tagan so far has pitched 55, only 28 strikeouts. So he's splitting that 28-7, not exactly a perfect ratio if you're Will Tagan. He's faced 10 batters so far. He's given up 1 hit, but he's walked 4, only struck out 2. As we mentioned in the pregame, the walks are going to be the deciding factor for Will Tagan here today. And we've seen this team can steal the bases as well. We'll see if they continue to do so here. They've got a man at first. They've got a man at second. Casanova, the batter. The righty, a smaller build. He stole a couple bases earlier as well. Already his second plate appearance, only in the top of the second. There's 2 outs still. The next pitch from Tegan. This one's cut on and fouled over to the right side. No play can be made on the baseball. That'll go for strike number one. Thank you very much for tuning in here from Southern California. My name is Vaughn Ullum. There's two men on in the top of the second with two away, and a tense position is the right-handed hitter, Casanova. The next pitch, this one will get away from Braden White. Right off the fencing, he'll make the throw to Luther, but he can't dig it out of the dirt. He'll be safe on the advancement from second to third. Also taking place is the advancement from first to second. And so now two men in scoring position with two away in a 1-1 count. Shaker's got a bullpen. We'll see if they begin to use it. It looks like we're getting a bit of throw and catch out there in the bullpen. Can't see who it is, but there is ball two from Tegan. Again, Tegan does need to warm up there on the mound. He's not typically the pitcher in these situations. This one's popped up into center. Crosby ranging back, getting under it, making the grab. Good defensive effort that time from Nemo Crosby. Not in the batting order today, but getting the start out in center. Good work from him there. That's why you put him out in center field. Thank you very much for tuning in. My name is Vaughn Ullum. We are through the top of the second. That means Shakers back up to bat. We'll be right back. We'll tell you all about it. Due up is going to be Brett Moore at short, Nate Landever, who's out in left field here today, and then Casey Robinson, the 6, 7, and 8 guys. We'll see if as the last guy in the order. Thank you very much for tuning in. My name is Vaughn Ullum here from Southern California. We'll be back up as Shaker's offense is back to the dish. Leading off for the Red Raiders in the bottom of the second, it's going to be Brett Moore, not the biggest power guy, but a great contact guy if you need it. This one's upstairs, ball one. He'll take it to lead off his count. 2-1 is your score. The Eagles are leading. However, they weren't able to get any across in the top of the second. This one's popped up into the right side and foul right next to that Red Raider dugout. The batter, Arntz, with his 24th on its way. This one cut on and fouled off once more. A hot shot off the bat. Luckily, it didn't get anyone. And so Brett Moore has 1 ball and 2 strikes after the back-to-back fouls. Next pitch. This one down low. He thought it was a ball. He's shaking his head after that one. He thought it was down low. Can't exactly blame him. Great pitch location. And he is down on strikes. The third strikeout for the Red Raiders as we are through 6. It's gone like this. No strikeout, strikeout, no strikeout, strikeout through the first 6. Nate Landever, if he keeps that going, he won't strike out, so we'll see what happens. First pitch was upstairs, a ball. Due up next would be Casey Robinson. Next offering off the plate, ball 2. No one on after the strikeout. Arntz with his 28th on its way now. This one cut on, fouled back into the backstop. The sophomore so far yet to get a hit, so he has a 0.000 average. We'll see if he can change that with the swing of the bat here. And with that hot shot, he's trying to, but right to the right fielder. Ibarra makes the catch, and now there's 2 quick outs for the Eagles on defense. So that'll bring up the first baseman in today's game, the sophomore Casey Robinson. He's a lefty. Shaker, one of the more balanced teams when it comes to lefties and righties. First pitch to him upstairs, a ball. 2 outs for him here. There's nobody on, not exactly a high-pressure RBI opportunity for him, but we'll see if he can get a 2-out rally going. The kick into pitch from number 7, cut on and missed, strike 1. That'll even us up 1-1 the count. Two to one, still your score. The Eagles lead it at their home turf. This one off the plate once more. 2 balls, 1 strike. What can Robinson do? This one's cut on, fouled off. And once again, even us up. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. It's a 1-run deficit. 1 swing of the bat could tie this one up. We'll see what the sophomore has behind the bat. He pitched in that first game against Francis Parker, and he pitched really well. That pitch upstairs. He's been patient at the plate throughout his at-bats. Someone we've also seen patient was Aaron Neiman. He is out of the lineup here today after getting the start yesterday. He had a couple errors to his name, but still, he has been doing pretty good for Shaker. That time around, he thought he would walk home, but however, the man in blue behind the dish calls him out on strikes. Casey Robinson surprised at the call. However, he heads to the dugout in frustration. So, we are through the first 2 innings of this one. 5 more to come. Shaker down by 1. 2-1 is your score. Thank you very much for tuning in. Will Tagan heads back to the mound after throwing up 0 in his second inning. He's looking warmer on the bump. We'll see if he can throw up another 0. Thank you very much for tuning in. My name is Vaughn Ullum. We'll be right back for the call of the top of the 3rd inning. And now the men in pinstripes back up to the plate. It'll be number 6, the left-handed hitter for the Eagles. First pitch from Will Tagan in his 3rd inning. This one lined in a left center. Will it get down? It will not. What a defensive play by the sophomore Nate Landever, sliding down, making the grab. And there's 1 pitch, 1 out to start off the top of the 3rd. And the Shaker is hyped up about that one. Great work by the sophomore. How about that? First pitch on the next guy. Rodriguez is upstairs. Number 3, the number on the back of his gray pinstripe jersey. Will Tagan the 62nd on its way. This will get away from Braden White in the backstop. No one on base, so he doesn't exactly have to rush his way back. He'll throw this one back to where it came from. Two balls No strikes. That time it will find the strike zone on the lower half. Good pitch location that time from the senior. 63 pitches, 32 strikes. Next pitch, that'll run in and it'll get him. That'll actually hit off his shoulder and hop over the cages. That couldn't have felt good. So he'll take his spot over at first as Will Tagan got the first guy on a fly out. He'll get the second guy walking, and that'll bring up Lizarraga. Right-handed batter. He's 1 for 1. He was the guy that had that 2 RBI single in the top of the first. Casey Robinson covering first in case we want the pickoff attempt, and indeed we will get the pickoff attempt. However, it's going to get away from Casey Robinson. The advancement from number 3 that time. Rodriguez from first to second, and now a man in scoring position. Lizarraga trying to get his 3rd RBI if he can. Next pitch looked inside, I believe ball 1. One ball, no strikes, 1 out in the top of the 3rd. Next pitch will be upstairs once more, ball 2. It seems as though whenever Will Tagan gets a ball called to the count, it's typically up. He's just going to need to lower his pitch location a little bit, and he'll be finding the strike zone a lot more. Here, Will Tagan checks the runner at second. He won't make the throw. Rodriguez back in standing. Tagan with the 67th of the day on its way, low and away. 3 balls, no strikes. Will he draw the 4-pitch walk? He will not. Upstairs a strike. He knew it too. Lizarraga wasn't leaving the batter's box. Next offering, this one's cut on. Sent up into center field. Nemo Crosby gets under it, making the grab. No advancement is made from the runner at second. There's out number 2. That runner, however, still in scoring position from the opposite side of Braden White at home plate. Nemo Crosby getting a lot of action out there in center field. Leyva the batter. He's 0 for 1. The 70th from Will Tagan is the first one for Leyva. And that time it'll go for strike number 1, Braden White. Debating whether to throw up to second or not. Rodriguez taking a hefty lead from second. Not exactly comfortable for the man on the mound or the man behind the dish. No balls, 1 strike, 2 outs in the top of the 3rd. The 1 man on. This one a hot shot to Casey Robinson over at first. He'll make the grab. Out number 3. Good play that time by the first baseman, the sophomore, that time around. And now we've got number 9 leading us off for the bottom of the 3rd. It's going to be O'Shea Howard, Will Tagan, and Andrew Fogarty due up for the bottom of the 3rd. We'll see if they can tie this one up with a good swing of the bat. Thank you very much for tuning in. My name is Vaughn Ullum. We will be right back. We'll see what Shaker's offense can do, and I'll tell you all about it. O'Shea Howard, the last man in the nine-man batting order. He's going to lead us off in the bottom of the third. Let's see what he can get cooking for the top of the order due up. First pitch, this one's sent right to the third baseman. He'll handle it, making the throw. It's in time. One pitch, one out as O'Shea Howard is out on the throw at first. So that'll bring up Will Tagan, number 8. In that right-handed batter's box, he's the starting pitcher for Shaker, and he was off to a slow start, but on those last 2 innings on the mound, he's started to get a little bit more comfortable. Only 1 hit per side so far, 1 error per team as well. So pretty even to start us off, except for the numbers on the scoreboard. 2-1, still your score. The first pitch taken for strike 1. No balls, 1 strike, 1 out after the O'Shea Howard ground out. 1 swing of the bat from Will Tagan can tie this one up. That'll go right down Broadway for strike number 2. Andrew Fogarty, the man in the on-deck circle. Already 2 strikes on Tagan, but we know he can protect if need be. Arntz with the 39th pitch of the day on its way to Will Tagan. He's 0 for 1. Make it 0 for 2 on the 3-pitch strikeout. He took that one right down the middle once more. He's just not comfortable with the pitch location, I suppose. Not seeing what he's seeing up there in the right-handed batter's box. And so 2 up, 2 down. That'll bring up Andrew Fogarty. He's also for 1 with a strikeout his first time up. The kick and the pitch. This one's outside, ball 1. Next offering, he was hesitating on swinging, but it looks as though he might have went around. And it looks like he did. Strike 1 to the right fielder here today. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Next pitch looked a bit upstairs. However, he's going to roll this one strike number 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 1 strike away from a 3 up, 3 down once more. Next pitch to Fogarty. Outside, trying to get him to chase. Fogarty says no thank you. He'll take a couple practice swings, looking to drive this one deep if he can and bring up the next guy, Will Berglund. And we know Will Berglund, we know what he can do. 2-out rally. Can he get it started? That pitch down low. Good take that time, and that'll bring us to a full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, no men on in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Olympian up by a run. Shaker looking to tie this one up with a swing of the bat, or maybe 2. And with that swing of the bat, he'll miss the contact. Strike number 3, 3 up, 3 down. And the Red Raiders defense will come back out. We'll see who's pitching. It should be once more Will Tagan, but we will see. The outfield has had some good reps to start us off. We'll see if they get any more sent their way. Nate Landever with a sliding grab in that last inning. Nemo Crosby had some plays as well. No hits really out and right. We'll see if that changes. But for now, we're going into the middle frame, top of the 4th. Thank you very much for tuning in. It looks like Quentin Garnett will be the next man up on the hill. Braden White will be catching the balls and strikes for him. Yesterday, we actually saw that flip-flopped. It was Quentin Garnett in the catching position. Braden White was the pitcher. Braden White was able to throw up a 0 in his inning pitched. We'll see if Quentin Garnett can get that same type of success. Thank you very much for tuning in. My name is Vaughn Ullum. We'll be right back after these warm-up pitches from Garnett. Quinn Garnett will be handed the rock as we begin at the top of the 4th inning. Braden White still the catcher. Quentin Garnett not typically on the hill. However, here we are in California. Let's mess around with some things. Quentin Garnett. Let's see what he can do. Typically a catcher or a third baseman. The first pitch cut on, fouled off. Over to the left side. Good pitch that time from Garnett. We'll see if he can keep that up. Citron 0 for 1. No balls, 1 strike. A good pitcher's count to open up his day. Takes a bit longer between pitches, but once he's in the windup, it is a quick windup. That time, the pitch is inside. It'll straighten him up a little bit. 1 ball, 1 strike. Nobody out as we're just getting set for the middle frame. 2-1 your score. Olympian leads it. This one's fouled up back to where we are. Almost hit the tent of the snack department doing their thing behind home plate. So that's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Can he get a strikeout? Not there. That ball very much low in the dirt. That'll even us up once more. 2 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out in the top of the 4th in a 2-1 ball game as the home team leads it. Or, excuse me, I guess Shaker is technically the home team. However, Olympian, this is their field. And they're a big swing and miss. Braden White trying to tag him out. He'll outrun him. So he's going to make the throw on to first. Casey Robinson makes the grab. There is out number 1 on a drop 3rd strike. Quentin Garnett, not typically in this position, but he's entered in doing pretty well. 5-pitch strikeout. The next pitch, this time to number 14. He's going to send this one into right center, and no one's going to get there in time. Fogarty picks it up at the warning track, and it looks like this one's going to go for a triple, assuming he doesn't get home. And he will not round 3rd. Brett Moore gets it in the infield. And wow, a 1-out triple for number 14, the batter that time, Rodriguez. And there you go. 6 pitches, 1. And the first pitch to Rodriguez sent into right center. And now it's an RBI opportunity for Diaz in the left-handed batter's box. Quentin Garnett with the first pitch his way. It's low and inside. Ball 1. The Olympian dug out a vocal one. But it is high school. That's what you see a lot more at this level. Next pitch. This one's down the middle. Strike 1. It was taken that time by Diaz. So we've got 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 man on, 1 run deficit. And that time the pitch is very much upstairs. There's ball 2. 1 error per side defensively. Shaker only with 1 hit, Olympian with 2. They're looking for their 3rd for an RBI knock here. Diaz 0 for 0 as his first time he walked. Garnett so far with 9 pitches, 5 of which have been strikes. Two to 1 your score. Olympian leads. The next pitch. This one's cut on and sent into left field. Nate Landever gets under it. And here's the tag attempt. And he's going to Braden White. It'll be far away from him on target. Quinn Garnett just going to pick it up along the first baseline. And that'll bring home a sacrifice flyout run for Olympians. So there's 1 more. It'll double their lead to 2. 3-1 is now your score as the Eagles still lead. Good speedy tag that time from Rodriguez. It'll bring up Ibarra, who's 0 for 1 here today, but his first time he did walk. He's got a walk and he's got a strikeout. The sun really now shining out here in Southern California. The next kick and pitch, that'll go inside for strike one. This umpire takes a minute on his calls, but when he does call it, he is authoritative. Next pitch, this one cut on and missed. Good pitch that time from Garnett. Looked like it was finding its way into the middle of the strike zone. Dropped down at the last second. Next pitch, this time it'll find the strike zone once more. Strike three, he didn't pull the trigger. And Quentin Garnett gets the strikeout for the last out of the top of the fourth. So we're halfway through this one already. Only an hour and 8 minutes from first pitch, and that's going to bring up Will Berglund to lead us off. Behind him, also due up, going to be the catcher Braden White and the third baseman Sam Luther. So we've got a senior and two juniors due up. We'll tell you more when we come back for the call of the the bottom of the fourth inning. Thank you very much for joining us here from Southern California. My name is Vaughn Ullum. Will Berglund, the big man, is going to lead us off. He's got some strength behind the bat. Let's see what he can do here. It's a two-run ball game. 3-1 is your score as Olympian leads it. Behind him is Braden White. The first pitch swung on and missed. 0-1 the count. Here we are in the bottom of the fourth inning, so we're already halfway through this one. Next pitch, same location, same swing and miss. Berglund 1 for 1 with one RBI. He brought home Will Tagan in the bottom of the first. Next pitch to him. This one's outside. Try to get him to chase. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Berglund has really had himself a tournament. Again, yesterday he came in to pinch hit. He got a triple. And here he's looking to have that same kind of success. This one tried to get over the head of the center fielder, Beisch. However, he makes the leaping grab, and there we go. He's down on the fly out to center. Braden White 0 for 1, stepping into the right-handed batter's box. He struck out his first time as Arntz already has 6. The first pitch looked inside, but he'll call this one strike number 1. Needs to get these backs clicking, and they got to get him clicking soon. This next pitch upstairs, ball 1. That was the 50th from Arntz, 51st on its way, fouled back into the cage above the backstop behind home plate. That'll be strike 2 to him. Sam Luther is the next man due up. Let's see what Braden White can do beforehand, however. Now he's going to ask for time. He's going to step out of the batter's box, taking a strong swing. Arndt steps off the mound. Now he's back, and so is White. The next pitch, the 1-2. And that'll be down, but it'll be a strike. And the catcher thought that was strike number 3 for out number 3. However, it was not. There's out number 2. 2 up, 2 down. And now the junior to the plate. First pitch fouled off to the left side. Luther takes a moment, gets himself settled. Now he's back into the right-handed batter's box. Next pitch, cut on, missed, strike 2. Bit early on the swing, says the dugout at least. 55th from Arntz is the third one he sees, and he takes it for strike 3. 3 up, 3 down once again for the pitcher Arntz. And Luther to the dugout as he's going to handle the duties over at third, as Quentin Garnett is the first man onto the field. He's the man on the mound for the second inning of his day. However, the 5th inning of the entire game. Thank you very much for tuning in. My name is Von Ullum. I will be back for the call of the 5th. Shaker down by 2. Let's see if they can keep it that way with the pitching of Quentin Garnett. Quentin Garnett back to the mound. The first man he sees is going to be the little man with a neon yellow-green bat. The first pitch of the 5th inning, very much off the plate, ball 1. Two runs is the deficit. The men in pinstripes are leading at their home grass field. Next pitch from Quentin Garnett, low. It'll get through the 5-hole of Braden White. 2 pitches, 2 balls to start us off in the top of the 5th. Casanova 0 for 1, wearing number 19 on the back of his jersey. However, Casanova did walk in one of his plate appearances. Next pitch upstairs, and he's looking to do the same thing now as there's 3 balls, no strikes. No outs. We're just getting set for the bottom of the 5th. Quentin Garnett with a 4-pitch walk. Just about all those pitches down low, or excuse me, 3 were down low. 1 was up high. Braden White going to ask for time. It will be granted. He'll talk things over with the man on the mound, Quentin Garnett. Garnett so far has pitched 18, and he's split each of those with the balls and strikes, 9 each. Faced 5 batters. He struck out 2. He's given up a hit. He's given up a walk and 1 earned run. Garnett checks the man over at first. Casey Robinson covering if he decides to make a pickoff attempt. And he will there. Casey Robinson grabs that one out of the dirt. He is safe. Back in on the dive was Casanova. Garnett with the 19th. Not on its way. He'll make that pickoff attempt once more to first. Robinson once again catching it down low. Top of the fifth inning. Man on first. That time, the pitch was way up high. Braden White had to jump up to make the catch. Luckily, he did do so. And no advancement was made from Casanova. If that had made its way to the backstop, more than likely, he would have made his way forward. 20th from Quentin Garnett off the plate. Ball number 2 on the count. Oh for 2 is the batter, Bleich. Now this next pitch off the plate again. 7 balls to the first 2 batters. 3 balls, no strikes to the batter, Bleich. 1 man on first. The next offering. Off the plate, ball 4, says the umpire. He'll throw his bat towards the dugout and jog his way over to first. The umpire in the infield mentioned something to Quentin Garnett. Garnett nods his head, and he's still on the mound. No mound visits so far after walking the first 2 batters on 8 balls. The batter now, Rodriguez. The first pitch to him upstairs, ball number 1. That's 9. Man on first is Bleich. The man on second is Casanova. 3-1 your score. Olympian leads. The next pitch runs in and hits him on the back of the jersey. Bases are loaded with nobody out. Rough position to be in if you're Quentin Garnett. And now we've got another visit from the catcher, Braden White. Surprisingly enough, head coach Stephen English decides he is content in the dugout. He'll let Braden White talk this one over. And now with bases loaded and nobody out, this is a great RBI opportunity for Lizarraga. Lizarraga got 2 RBI single in the top of the first. He's 1 for 2. That pitch off the plate again. Ball 1. Next pitch, that one upstairs. Ball 2. Two balls, no strikes, nobody out. Bases loaded in a 2-run ball game. This one down low. Braden White keeps it in front of him just barely, but great work by the catcher. 3 straight balls to lead off this count. 1 more and he walks in a man. But there we go, right down the middle. There's a change from Quentin Garnett. But a welcome one at that. 28 pitches from Garnett. And now this one's popped up foul behind home plate. And so there we go. From 3 balls, no strikes to 3 balls, 2 strikes. And so a tense position now for the batter, Lizarraga. Bases are loaded with nobody out. 3 balls, 2 strikes, the payoff pitch. This one's low. And he'll walk in a run. 4-1 now will be your score. .30 pitches from Garnett. Oh, only 11 have been strikes. He's having the same issue as Will Tagan. It's the walks, not exactly the hits given up. And the first pitch down low. One ball, no strikes. The next one, once more down low. 2 balls, no strikes. Next pitch, that'll be down the middle. Strike one. 2 balls, 1 strikes. Or excuse me, 1 strike. The 2-1 offering. This will be sent down the middle. Brett Moore going to handle it. He'll step on second. He'll make the throw to first. In time, double play. Courtesy of the man at short, Brett Moore. 2 outs. However, they will get the man in from third. And now the man at first, the runner, seems to be in a bit of pain over there. And now we're actually going to take a bit of a break as he gets some attention over there on the first base line. We'll be right back. Shaker's infield talking things over as well. My name is Vaughn Ullum. Shaker down in this one. After the double play, we've got 2 outs. And the top of the fifth, it's now a 4-run ball game. Quentin Garnett remains on the mound. The kick, the pitch. And this one's sent to Brett Moore. He'll handle it. Struggle on the transfer, but the throw, is it in time? It is not. My goodness. Looks as though he fell off first base, Casey Robinson. And so he is safe at first. An RBI infield single. 6-1 will now be the deficit. Now the umpires actually want to talk this one over on the infield along first base. And they stick with it. It's safe. 6-1 your score. That'll bring up the next man, Rodriguez. He's handling the duties at third today. Quentin Garnett with the next man up. This one's sent into shallow center. Will O'Shea Howard make the play? It looks like that is exactly what he did. Big defensive play from the man covering second base. O'Shea Howard ranges back, makes the grab. There's out number 3, but the damage is done here in the top of the fifth. 3 runs came across for the Eagles. 6-1 is now your score. Shaker's bats need to wake up a little bit. Only 1 hit. Let's see if they can change the narrative now as we are heading to the bottom of the fifth. Thank you very much for joining us. My name is Vaughn Ullum. All of your questions will be answered as we head to the bottom of the inning. 5 runs, the Eagles are up. The first pitch to Brett Moore is taken for ball one. The next pitch, this one sent up the middle, through second in there to shallow center for a leadoff knock. Perhaps the coach's motivational words as we switch sides, that was enough to get this offense rolling. Big leadoff hit from the man covering shortstop today. That's Brett Moore. Now Nate Landever in the left-handed batter's box. He is 0 for 1. The first pitch to him from Arntz. This one's off the plate. Ball number 1. The sun now consistently shining, not behind the clouds, then back out again. Now we've just had the sun out for a few minutes now. Now the next kick and pitch. This one to Nate Landever is once more upstairs. And now it looks like we're going to get a mound visit from the head coach. So Nate Landever going to talk things over with his head coach as well, as head coach Stephen English goes to visit him along the third baseline. Along the first baseline, we're going to get assistant coach Joe Welsh talking it over with the man that just got that single and is currently occupying first, Brett Moore. The Shaker Heights baseball dugout singing along to the Jeopardy theme, waiting for the mound visit to conclude, and now it will. We're back to the action. 2 balls, no strikes on Nate Landever. He's got a man on first. And now that next pitch down low. First is Moore. Next pitch, this one will be right down the middle. Strike 1. 3 balls, 1 strike on the sophomore. Brett Moore once again with a hefty lead. The next offering, this one's sent into shallow left. The left fielder calls everyone off. Brett Moore needing to head back to first as the catch is made. There's out number 1. And so that'll bring up the first baseman in today's game, the sophomore Casey Robinson. First pitch swung on over to the left side, foul, out of play. Brett Moore once again taking the lead. Arntz debating whether he should get a pickoff attempt. He will not. Pitch upstairs outside to Casey Robinson, another ball. Thrown to another sophomore. Brett Moore on first. Good chance here for Casey Robinson to get their team moving on offense. There's a swing and miss. Brett Moore back in to first. He is safe, says the umpire on the infield. Casey Robinson 0 for 1 so far. And now he's got 2 strikes on him. He's got to protect. There's 1 out, 1 ball on him as well. Brett Moore got that leadoff knock. There's ball 2. Evened. Shaker dugout getting very vocal. That's how you know that they have some momentum. Next pitch to Casey Robinson, upstairs once more, ball 3, count us down, 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. The sophomore steps back into the left-handed batter's box. Brett Moore does the same as always. He takes that lead from first. The pitcher, Arntz, checks him. Now he'll make the throw. This one's sent right to the first baseman. He'll use his glove, scoops it up, taps on first for the ground out. Brett Moore advances from first to second. Now we've got a man in scoring position for the junior, O'Shea Howard, who made that great catch to conclude the top of the fifth. So now there's two away with the man on second. O'Shea Howard 0 for 1 to start off his day. First pitch will catch the strike zone. 0-1 is the count. He'll get a signal from his head coach, Stephen English. Now he's back into the box. 6-1 your score. The Olympian Eagles are leading it. Next pitch to Howard. That one's in the same location, strike two. Now more than likely he's going to go out of the strike zone and try to get him to chase. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs with the man on second. Next pitch to Howard, down low, a ball. We've got a 1-2 count now. Now the next pitch upstairs. 2 back-to-back strikes, now 2 back-to-back balls. Brett Moore with the lead off of second. The next pitch to Howard, cut on and miss, strike 3. And Arntz heads to the dugout. He has had a day on the mound. Shaker still limited to 1 run. 6-1 is your score. We'll see who takes the mound now. Looks like it will still be Quentin Garnett. He let 3 come across last time around, but he will remain on the hill. Thank you very much for tuning in. Each team with 2 hits. However, the Eagles have 6 runs on those 2 hits. Shaker does have 2 errors as well. That more than likely did contribute. So Quentin Garnett taking the warm-up pitches as we begin the top of the 6th. Thank you very much for tuning in. We've got 2 more innings of California baseball from your Shaker Heights Red Raiders. We'll be right back. First pitch from Quentin Garnett was taken up above the strike zone for ball 1. And now the next offering, a ball once more on the inside of the plate, right between the batter and the plate. Diaz 0 for 1 here today. 2-0 the count for Quentin Garnett. The next offering upstairs, ball 3. So now that was his 39th pitch. He's only thrown 15 strikes. There's strike 1. 3 balls, 1 strike now. Can Quentin Garnett bounce back and now get a really competitive matchup at the plate for Diaz? Next pitch to Diaz. Off the plate, ball 4. Number 1, the new batter, Ibarra. We get time called by the man on the mound, Quentin Garnett. Diaz leading off of first. Now the first pitch of the at-bat from Quentin Garnett will be up high, a ball. .42 pitches from Garnett now, still excuse me, now 16 strikes. Here's a stealing attempt. O'Shea Howard tags him. Is he out? Looks as though he is, says the umpire. The runner argues his case with the umpire, but the umpire says, no, thank you. I'm making this call. And he is out for out number one. However, we've still got another ball to Ibarra. So I believe the count is 3-1. Now the umpire, sick of the talk between these two teams. He'll take off his protective helmet. He'll tell both sides, just encourage your own team. Nothing personal in this Ohio-California contest. With that pitch, we get the strike. There's one away now in the top of the sixth. Next pitch upstairs. 3 balls now on Ibarra. Ibarra 0 for 2 here today. However, he did walk in one of his plate appearances. This one's fouled back. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out as we count down the scoreboard. The Olympian Eagles are up by 5. 6-1 is the score here in the top of the sixth. Shaker with only 6 more outs to work with on offense. That pitch off the plate, ball 4. The next batter will be Casanova. He's 0 for 1 as well. This pitch is going to get away from Braden White, make its way all the way into the infield. And so Braden White recovers, throws it right back to the man it came from, Quentin Garnett. So the man is on second. There's 1 ball to Casanova. There's 1 out here in the top of the sixth. Garnett needing to limit the damage if this team has the hopes of making a late game comeback. Two balls, no strikes. 1 away in the top of the 6th inning with the man on second in scoring position. Casanova wants to bring him home. And the next pitch to him upstairs, ball 3. Now the next pitch to the little man will be the 3 balls, no strike count. And here it's upstairs again. Still a lot of communication between the Eagles dugout, trying to get into the head of Quentin Garnett. And now we get time called for a moment. One man on first, 1 man on second. Quentin Garnett's job is to leave this score where it is at 6-1. Olympian leads it here at their home field. Quentin Garnett in on the mound. There's a runner at second. There's a runner at first for the men of Pinstripes here defending their home territory. That pitch off the plate. Garnett has now pitched 52. 18 have found the strike zone. And this time the pitch down low. Ball 2. The accuracy has really been the struggle for, firstly, Will Tagan as well, because he just about split his balls and strikes. And now Quentin Garnett has 18 strikes through his 53 pitches. 2 balls, 1 strike. Or excuse me, that last one was a strike, so now it's 19 strikes on 54. That time it'll be off the plate once again. 1 away here. Quentin Garnett has the double play in order, but we'll see if he lets this one go in play. 3 balls, 1 strike. The pitch cut on and missed. A big hack that time from Bleich. Bleich 0 for 2. However, once again, he did walk as well. The top 5 guys in the batting order walked for the Eagles. Casanova walked 3 times today, and he came across to score twice. So, hasn't had the most exciting day at the plate. However, he's been efficient, and that time, number 6 is going to draw another walk. Bleich takes his 2nd walk of the day, and the center fielder will head over to first. Quentin Garnett on the mound, and now he's got bases loaded with 1 away. 6-1 is your score. The man hitting right now is going to be Rodriguez. He's 0 for 0. He's walked once. He was also hit by a pitch twice. First pitch. This one's foul down the third baseline. Foul. So 1 strike on this man right here. This time the pitch down low. In the dirt, Braden White keeps it in front of him. Ibarra not going to be able to advance home. So it's kept a 5-run ball game. 1-1 the count. There's 1 away with 3 men on, of course. Bases are loaded. 5-run deficit. Shaker needs to keep this score where it is, but it's the 3rd time this batter has been hit. And my goodness, get this man an ice pack. So Quentin Garnett will hit a batter and bring a run in. Bases remain loaded with 1 out. Just add 1 to the Olympian total on the scoreboard. 7-1 your score. Quentin Garnett now looking to slow things down. That first pitch will be inside, but it will find the strike zone. Can Quentin Garnett bounce back a little bit here? Damage done. The kick of the left leg in the next offering. This one's down low. Braden White loses it within his legs. However, he will recover, and no advancement is made. This one's cut on up into left field. They're both calling each other off. Will Tagan sending it home. Casey Robinson couldn't pick it up on the hop. So the runner from third will tag coming home. And there is run number 8 for the Eagles. So that will mean there are 2 outs now, but the Olympian Eagles have had 2 come across. They've only had 2 hits, believe it or not, with 8 runs happening. Shaker with 2 errors in this one, but mainly the issue has been the walks. 4 walks from Will Tagan, 7 from Quentin Garnett. In the next offering, down low for ball 1. So that'll even us up 1 ball, 1 strike. There's 2 outs, 2 men on, 1 guy at first, 1 guy at second in the pinstripe gray uniforms. 65 pitches have been thrown by Quentin Garnett, 24 of which were strikes, 41 were balls. And there's ball number 45. Or excuse me, 42. 2 balls, 1 strike to the batter, Leyva. Leyva 0 for 0. That'll go for a strike, a called strike. Leyva 0 for 0 in this one. He hasn't walked at all. Excuse me, now actually the batter is Fredier. And now this pitch on the outside half, and it won't hit the strike zone. Ball 3, we're back to a full count. Bit of a tense situation, but the Eagles are up by 7, so they have some runs to lie back on. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 runners on, 1 in scoring position. The next pitch to Fredier. This one's sent up. On the infield, Quentin Garnett calls everyone off. He'll make the play as Casey Robinson falls down behind him. Quentin Garnett yelling that it was his. Casey Robinson backed off at the last minute. The play is made on the infield. Quentin Garnett does allow 2 to come across. He has let through 5, and so that brings the score to where it is now. 8-1 is now your score. Olympian still leads at their home field. The sun is starting to come out a little bit more to the bottom of the 6th. Thank you very much for joining us. My name is Vaughn Ullum here with the call of the bottom of the 6th. Let's see if Shaker can get a really big comeback brewing. Will Tagan, the man to lead us off, and when you need a good leadoff man, he's the man to get you started. Andrew Fogarty in the on-deck circle. In the hole, the number 3 guy here in the bottom of the 6th is going to be Will Berglund, the designated hitter. Here, first pitch cut on. This one's going to drop down. Oh, it's not going to drop down. A diving play is made by the right fielder, and my goodness. Shaker just cannot seem to catch a break in this game. So that'll bring up the right fielder for Shaker. Great play by Ibarra that time. Fogarty is up. He has struck out, so of course he is 0 for 2. First pitch is outside, ball 1. Arntz with his 76th there, his 77th will be on its way momentarily. He has thrown 77 now, 47 of which are strikes, 30 are balls. Berglund now the man in the on-deck circle after that unfortunate Shaker Heights fly out. Here's the next offering to Fogarty. Cut on and missed. That'll move our count. 2 balls, 1 strike with 1 away. 7 runs the deficit. If Shaker wants to get a comeback going, you can't all expect it at once in the bottom of the 7th, but you never know. High school baseball, these games aren't exactly predictable. Andrew Fogarty wiping something off the top of his bat. He'll enter back into the left-handed batter's box with the number 4 on the back of his jersey in red. Bat raised above his shoulder. He has to protect 2 strikes, but there doesn't have to protect with a ball upstairs. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. No men on after the Will Tagan fly out to right. Great play by Ibarra to make the diving play. Next pitch to Fogarty. That one down low, and he knew it was a strikeout as well, right as he took it. One fly out, one strikeout. Fogarty went down on strikes in each of his at-bats. 3 times up, 3 times called on those strikes. That'll bring up Will Berglund, 1 for 2, having himself a tournament. First pitch down low, a ball. Olympian up by 7. Now the next pitch to Berglund. Cut on and missed a big swing. That time on Arntz's 83rd. The 84th is upcoming. Berglund with the 1 RBI for the Red Raiders here today. The next pitch to him, that'll be right down the middle for strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Now it's Berglund's job to protect. And the next offering, this one will go for strike number 3. He held back. A called strike 3 will send him to the dugout. The designated hitter goes down on strikes for the first time here today. He is one of only 2 guys with a hit. It's him and Brett Moore, and it's going to need to remain that way, as it looks like Quentin Garnett is going to take third now, and we'll see who takes the mound for Shaker Heights. I believe he's just going to flip-flop with Sam Luther as he takes the mound. The junior will be on the mound. We'll tell you all about him when we come back for the top of the 7th. Thank you very much for joining us here from the Olympian High School baseball field in Southern California. Sam Luther on the mound here to end the San Diego tournament for the Red Raiders. And the first pitch from Sam Luther, down low, ball 1. He pitched in that game against Francis Parker. There were 3 plate appearances, 1 actual at bat for him. And this one's sent too short for Brett Moore. He struggles to scoop it. And the runner moves up to first. Citron is safe after no throw is made to Casey Robinson. He was 0 for 3. Now he's 1 for 4 on the infield single. Now I'll bring up Rodriguez. He's 1 for 3. Man on first now on the leadoff single. First pitch to Rodriguez, outside and low. Ball 1. Now this pitch is popped up into shallow right. Fogarty is under it. He'll make the grab, Out number 1, Sam Luther has been doing pretty good on the mound. Not typically in that pitching position, but here he is right now in that pitching position. Against Francis Parker, he did have a nice average against. It was .000, but he did give up 2 runs on 2 walks. He also played against Durango as well, when there was 1 plate appearance in that affair. This one's taken. Here's the trying to catch him on the steal. The throw is up high. Brett Moore gets down, makes the tag on him in the air, and he is caught. There you go, Braden White. Good throw that time. A bit up high, but Brett Moore could recover. Out number 2. Excuse me, I'm incorrect. Sam Luther did not pitch against Francis Parker, but regardless, this one is going to drop down foul off to the left side of the field. Both Nate Landever out in left and Quentin Garnett, the third baseman, tried to make the play. Unfortunately, neither of them could get to the play in time. However, Sam Luther has no one to think about on base. He is pitching rather well. No balls, 2 strikes. This one sent right back to the mound. Sam Luther going to jog over, flip this one to Casey Robinson. An efficient inning for number 11, the junior Sam Luther, and now Shaker. It is crunch time, the final inning of their San Diego tournament. Let's see what they can do in their final 3 outs to work with. They've got their flight tomorrow at 9:45 in the morning. The rest of today will be team bonding. But let's see what they can do for the final little bit of baseball they have before they return home. Thank you very much for tuning in. My name is Vaughn Ullum. We will be right back. Braden White, the catcher in today's game, he caught the man stealing from first to second in the last of the inning. But now, Olympian up by 7. Arntz looking for the complete game appearance on the mound. That was his 86th pitch, down low for ball 1. Braden White 0 for 2 here. He struck out in each of those 2 at-bats. Here he's going to take time, and the umpire gives it to him. He'll take a couple big practice swings, and now he's back in the right-handed batter's box. 87th from Arntz is on the way. That time taken for strike 1. We're evened up. 8-1. Olympian leads it. Shaker needs a big comeback, and that means they need a good performance out of leadoff guy. There's a big swing, and unfortunately a miss. This one's sent over to the left side, handled by the shortstop. He'll make the running throw. Did he beat it out? He did! Braden White safe over at first. Good start when he needs 7 runs. And so he's safe at first. That'll bring up the junior Sam Luther. He's 0 for 2 with a strikeout to his name. Brett Moore behind him. And Cole Klein also substituted in for Nate Landever. Next pitch, this one down the middle. Strike one to Sam Luther. There's the man on first. He's the catcher. Not exactly a speedster, but Braden White can get the job done if he wants to steal. Next pitch, down low. Ooh, never mind. A late strike 2 call to Sam Luther. 1 strike away from another strikeout from Arntz. Arntz over 90 pitches now. His 92nd will be on its way. 0-2 is the count to Luther. Arntz with 11 strikeouts here today. Braden White taking the lead from first. Arntz with the kick in the throw. And the throw back from the catcher to first, but Braden White is safely standing up. And now there's the 1-2 count. White takes the lead. Luther in the right-handed batter's box awaits the 1-2. Here it comes. And now it's off the plate again, trying to get him to chase his Arntz. Just working up that pitch count. Still nobody out here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Shaker down by 7. Sam Luther with the black and yellow at the top of the bat, the blue at the bottom of the bat. Next pitch, that upstairs once again. So we went from 0-2 to 3-2. We'll see what Sam Luther decides to do with the next offering as Braden White takes the lead from first. We'll see what he decides to do as well. 0-2 is Sam Luther, but here's the payoff pitch. No outs. That one down low, but he calls it strike 3. Sam Luther surprised about that one. He was already making his way over to first, but then he stops, and now he's got to make his way to the dugout. That'll bring up Brett Moore. One guy of only 3 that have given Shaker hits today. And that one down low to start off Brett's at bat. The hits have been Will Berglund, Braden White, and Brett Moore. White, of course, standing on first. He got that hit moments ago on an infield single. He's able to beat that out over at first. And offering to Brett Moore a bit upstairs over the Raiders' word mark on that white jersey. 2 balls, no strikes, 1 out after the Sam Luther K. White still over at first. Not sure he's going to steal. Right now you got to be a little protective of the outs as it's a 7-run ball game. 3 balls, no strikes after the last one. Arntz with his 99th upcoming, and it's making its way after the kick and the pitch. That one will find the strike zone for the 99th. White over at first. Brett Moore 1 for 2 here today. He's got a hit, but he's got a strikeout, and this one's fouled off over the left side. So now from 3 balls, 2 strikes, or excuse me, now from 3 balls, no strikes to 3 balls, 2 strikes. There's 1 out. In the bottom of the 7th, there's a man on first in the form of the catcher, Braden White. Arntz, with that last pitch, is at the century mark. The next one will put him over. 8-1 your score. Shaker could use a knock here if you really want a huge late game comeback. This one swung on and fouled over to the right side. Hopefully that doesn't hit a car. You could hear it hit off of something. I believe those are the solar panels. Here in Southern California, we get a lot of these parking lot solar panels to, number one, cover the cars, but to also power these fields. It's a really rather genius thing here in Southern California. Brett Moore takes this one upstairs, ball 4. He's going to send this bat and his wrist guard over to out and take his spot over at first. So now 2 men on. There's 1 away. That'll bring up Cole Klein. He's going to enter in as a lefty with the orange bat in his left hand. Some big practice swings as we get Arntz having a mound visit now from their head coach of Olympian. Now Klein going to talk things over with head coach Stephen English, the two runners on base, talking things over dugout before they continue moving forward. Or at least that's Brett Moore. Braden White just finished up his conversation with the head coach Stephen English. Shaker down to their final 2 outs of the tournament. They're down by 7. You at least want to cut the deficit down a little bit if you can. And now Cole Klein finishes up his conversation. The mound visit concludes as well. He's in the left-handed batter's box. Let's see what he can get cooking as well, as now there's 2 men on with 1 away in the bottom half of the final inning. Shaker actually out hitting Olympian for the only time they are out hitting a team throughout this tournament. The first pitch to Klein is off the plate, ball 1. The man on first is Moore. The man on second is Braden White. Klein entering in as the pinch hitter, taking over for Nate Landever's position out in left. That pitch once again off the plate, ball 2. No strikes on Klein. Up next would be C.J. Landrum. He's replacing Casey Robinson as the first baseman. Klein wants time, and it's granted to him. Arntz seeming a little tense. This is going to be his 105th pitch of the day. You know he's going to feel that tomorrow. Here's the pickoff attempt over at first. Brett Moore back in head first. He's safe. First baseman over there is Diaz. He'll send it right back to Arntz. Klein with number 3 on the back of his jersey, a red number on a white jersey. Orange bat above his shoulders. There's a big swing. Unfortunately, no contact. 2 balls, 1 strike. 1 out in the bottom of the 7th. 2 men on, 1 in scoring position in the form of the catcher, Braden White. He got on first with the infield single. This next pitch to Klein, off the plate, ball 3. The exhaustion is getting to this man on the mound. Arntz has 3 balls on Cole Klein. If he walks him, he walks the bases loaded. Next pitch to Cole Klein. He'll take it, but that's in for strike 2. So now it's going to be a payoff pitch to Cole Klein. Braden White taking his lead off of second. Brett Moore follows suit at first. The next batter up is C.J. Landrum, but the pitch to Klein, cut on and missed. He got him swinging. And now that'll bring up the big man of C.J. Landrum. C.J. Landrum in the right-handed batter's box. Arntz with 108 pitches now, 2 outs in the bottom half of the last inning. Landrum with an RBI opportunity, with 2 men on, and Braden White at second, Moore at first. First pitch to Landrum. This one's cut on, sent back into the cage behind home plate, hitting some of those senior banners hung up behind the fence. Now the next offering to C.J. Landrum off the plate. That'll leave us up. 1 ball, 1 strike. Shaker down to their final out of the San Diego tournament. Tomorrow they make their flight back home to Shaker Heights, Ohio, and we're nowhere near done yet. The next offering to C.J. Landrum. This one sent through the shortstop in third, rounding Third is going to be Braden White, but the throw is in quick enough that he won't make his way home. O'Shea Howard is up next. Bases are loaded with 2 outs. You never know what the Red Raiders can do now. 8-1 is your score. The Eagles are leading. And Arts has 111 and struggling to get that final out. He'll make his way to the dugout. 111 pitches. He'll feel that tomorrow. He pitched a solid game. The final stats for him are 6.2 innings pitched, of course. He gave up 1 run on 4 hits and a walk. However, he struck out 13 of these Red Raider batters. Through the 111 pitches, he had 67 strikes. He faced 26 batters in the end. So now as we're getting these warm-up pitches, we will take a quick break. We'll tell you about this pitcher as well when we come back. Due up is O'Shea Howard, the last man in the starting 9 lineup. Shaker down to their final out of the San Diego tournament. They're down 7, but they have the bases loaded for O'Shea Howard, the 9th man in the batting order. With 2 pinch hitters go up in the form of C.J. Landrum and Cole Klein. Klein, unfortunately, struck out. There's the first strike on O'Shea Howard. Colin Richard, the pinch runner for the Red Raiders. C.J. Landrum not the fastest. The next pitch to O'Shea Howard off the plate, ball 1. We're evened up. 1 ball, 1 strike. Bases are loaded in a 7-run ball game. The pitcher now, Hill. He's thrown 2, and he split them with balls and strikes. There's another ball. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. For O'Shea Howard, the junior, who went 0 for 2 today, looking to change that narrative up. He struck out once as well. But let's see what he can do with the bases loaded in a high-pressure situation. Here's a big power hit into center field, but it's right to him. There's out number 3, and that does it for the Eagles and the Raiders here today. Shaker Heights loses this one by a score of 8-1. They finish up this San Diego tournament by a record of 1-3. So today, Shaker actually out-hit their opponent. It wasn't exactly a typical occurrence. The first 3 games, even with that first victory against Francis Parker, they were out-hit. In Francis Parker, they were only out-hit by 1. But still, the hits did come a bit more today than their opponent. 4-2 was your statistic there. However, on the scoreboard, that didn't exactly show. 8-1 was your final. Olympian getting the victory here at home. In the name of errors, Shaker really struggled on the defensive side of this tournament. They had 3 yesterday. They had 3 today. Hopefully, they can get that cleaned up before they face off in the Greater Cleveland Conference. But we're nowhere near done. Shaker Heights goes back home with the flight tomorrow at 9:45 in the morning. Shaker expects their return to be 8 p.m. at night. Of course, they have that 3-hour difference as compared to you Shaker Heights viewers. We're aware it's 12:18 right now. It's 3:18 over there. So that jet lag might come for some of these players. But for now, thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you to everyone that made this trip possible as well. Everyone that chipped in, let me come here to San Diego to broadcast these games for you. Thank you very much for the team for allowing me to go, to the coaches for including me in all the fun activities and whatnot. Shaker, of course, having a lot more of those bonding activities after this one. They still have very much of today to get familiar with each other and have some fun before their flight back tomorrow morning. Thank you very much for joining us. My name is Von Ullum here from Southern California. Shaker loses this one by a score of 8-1. They finished the tournament 1-3, but we are heading back to Shaker Heights, Ohio for some more high school baseball. Thank you very much. We'll see you there.